afternoon, everyone, from the IBD newsroom. Welcome to Stock Market Today. My name is Ken Shreve, joined by Ed Carson. On today's show, we're going to take a look at another volatile day for the stock market. The market was looking pretty good for a good portion of the session, and then President Trump tweeted that the stimulus talks are going to be suspended until after the election. We'll see how that plays out, but the stock market did not take that very well. All right, so Ed, you've got three stocks you want to talk about today. Let me throw it over to you. And what stocks are looking good despite this down session?
Yeah, a few stocks are looking reasonably good. Not at their highs of the day, that's for sure. But West Pharmaceutical Services, BlackLine, and C Limited all are doing pretty well. They, at least during the day, showed some buying opportunities.
Okay, well, let's start by taking a look at a chart of the NASDAQ composite. You can see at the close, the NASDAQ was down about 1.6%, S&P 500 down 1.4%, the Dow down 1.3%. Small caps eke out a small gain, up about 0.2%. So, Ed, I mentioned the Trump news and the stimulus talks being called off. You see the NASDAQ here. What do you make of the action today?
Yeah, obviously it closed lower than what it's showing right there. There's a little delay, but it did hold above its 50-day line, which is about the only thing you could really say that was great. The market was looking really strong, really at the highs of the day, and boy, it just reversed from about 55, 57 points up on the NASDAQ to down 130 in about 6 or 7 minutes, and we kept on falling down about 177. Outside day, a lot of these stocks that were breaking out are showing really strong gains. Erase those gains, reverse lower, just exactly what you didn't want to see. I mean, this is, it's not surprising because the market's been rallying on stimulus talks, but it was just disappointing. And we'll just have to see if it can hold these levels, shake this off and move forward. But it was definitely not a good session.
Yeah, you can see the NASDAQ still holding above its 50-day moving average. Volume does look higher than what we saw on Monday, so this looks like it could be a distribution day for the NASDAQ composite and the S&P 500. Let me switch to a 5-minute chart for the NASDAQ. Ed, I know you wanted to look at a 5-minute chart here for the composite.
Yeah, so we didn't close at the lows, but that's about it. So you can see we were steadily climbing from about late morning, just kept on going. This was looking like, oh, this is really going. And the growth stocks are doing even better. The NASDAQ was doing this even with Amazon and Apple and Tesla all down. And so the NASDAQ was powering ahead with the very best stocks. And then, I mean, it was just immediate. We were just looking around, what's going on? What is going on? The market is reversing so hard. So that can happen sometimes. That's a little unusual, but it was, there it is.
So despite a rough session for the stock market Tuesday, we are still in a confirmed uptrend. So let's quickly check in on the Dow Jones Industrial Average and take a look at the daily chart here. We see another outside day. The Dow was above the 28,000 level, closed below it, still holding above its 50-day moving average, but all the while, Ed, we're still in a confirmed uptrend here.
Still in a confirmed uptrend. I believe we held above the low of the follow-through day for sure. So that would be a warning sign. I mean, that in the 50-day, it's sort of almost the 50-day line, and then the low of the follow-through day.
The follow-through day was right here, yeah.
And that wouldn't end the rally. I might want to make that clear that if we undercut that and close below it, that would not end the rally. It would just be a very bad sign. Most rallies do not ultimately fail when they do that, but it isn't a failure. You'd have to go all the way to the lows. I don't remember like that day, but all the way at the bottom of the rally.
Right.
That would be where it would have to be before the rally was officially dead.
Okay, very good. And then in terms of individual stocks, and I know you wanted to, we'll talk about SE first. I don't have my list of stocks here.
WST
I forgot to print that.
was,
WST. Let's start with West Pharmaceuticals and take a look at a daily chart here. And we see a nice little breakout taking shape.
Yeah, this one's done very well. And it was basically almost on the edge yesterday. It was actionable, rebounded from the 50-day line. It was getting right up toward that buy point. You sort of understood if somebody wanted to buy off the 10-week line. And then today it just added on. It was then moved above the buy point. Nice action. Relative strength at a new high. This is a long-term leader watch list stock. So a lot of good action from this. And it's had really good action throughout the rally. It's not like a sexy growth name, but it's been doing very well.
Yeah, stock that actually held up pretty well here, and you can see Market Smith on the weekly chart highlighting a little flat base here, and a lot of good looking charts out there still. All right, let's move on and take a look at enterprise software firm BlackLine. Start with a look at the weekly chart here or the daily chart. What's your
It's an
preference?
odd looking cup with handle. I mean, you can
Yeah.
just sort of look at it. So whether you want to treat that middle of that consolidation as the top of a handle or just some early entry, however you want to look at it, and then the left-hand side also being essentially almost at the same spot. It got above there intraday. I believe it closed a little below the buy point, which not the worst action given how the market was. I mean, most stocks were reversing lower. This stock is up nicely for the week. All the gains were pretty much today, 5% gain today. So can't be too upset that it didn't close above, but it's a little more volatile. This is one problem with this stock is it has these big ups and downs,
Yeah.
and obviously the market was having some big ups and downs, but you'd like it when your stocks are a little less volatile than the market, not more.
Gotcha. All right, let's conclude by talking about C Limited. This has been a big time market leader. Ticker symbol SE here. Start with a look at a daily chart. You can see C Limited closed off highs, but still technically a very strong stock.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't an official buy point. It wasn't official base yet, but it sort of formed a pseudo handle there. And then you can sort of see there, and that I think was sort of actionable right there. It was clearly coming through. You can see the volume. The market was acting like this was actionable. I mean, it was moving through there with volume. It actually got to a new high, which you could probably call as an actionable move as well. This one never got to the 10-week line really until since maybe there. It pulls back, but doesn't give you great opportunities. But the relative strength line has been great.
Yeah, and this one has gotten a lot of discussion on IBD Live as an ascending base, and we can look at the weekly chart here and see really a good-looking ascending base here. You can see the breakout all the way down in this area here. It runs up in price, and then it stages three quick little pullbacks, 1, 2, 3. So that's bringing a new breakout over this high into play. So it really has the look of a bullish ascending base pattern.
And there's a lot of stocks like like if you go to a daily, you get that pseudo handle. Basically, the NASDAQ and the major indexes have sort of consolidated for a few days. I mean, today we reversed lower, but the market leading stocks will act along with the market. There was a lot of stocks, Alibaba, Viva Systems. There's a lot of stocks that sort of moved past sort of semi handles today because that's what the market had done. And so it's really too bad because there's a lot of great action going on. These are some good looking stocks. There's a lot more that were looking good. And, if we bounce right back, again, this rally has been the leading stocks have clearly outperformed the indexes when you look at the health of a rally, and it's been leading stocks have been the shining spot of it, and the leading indexes they've been okay.
All right, well, a rough day for the stock market Tuesday is just a reminder that we are in a headline-driven market, and but the bottom line is that we still are in a confirmed uptrend. So, Ed, want to thank you very much for your insight as usual, and for all you leaderboard subscribers out there, don't forget we're going to be doing our leaderboard scorecard webinar coming up pretty soon. Actually, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to go over buys and sells for the month of September. That's for leaderboard subscribers only. You can go to leaderboard.investors.com for more information there. Again, that starts at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, 1:30 Pacific time, I should say, today. And then don't forget to join us for IBD Live, as always, tomorrow morning, where we're going to dissect today's market action, talk about actionable stocks just at the open. So if you haven't checked out IBD Live yet, please do so at investors.com/IBD Live. That'll do it for today. Ed and Justin will be back here tomorrow. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you back here soon.